Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Blue Ridge Silverhound. I'm your host, Sean. I want to thank you guys for joining in today for this pretty important kind of like PSA video. And I've done a few of these, but this one is geared more toward selling and selling on eBay. We're going to talk real quickly about a few of the kind of groundbreaking changes that I think were expected at some point on eBay, and it'll greatly impact the way that you do business. So if you're, I'm not gonna say I'm like a high volume seller on eBay. I probably sell anywhere from like 15, 20, 25 items a week. So I do a little bit of volume. Yes, I do pay my taxes on everything I sell at the end of the year. That's kind of like the cost of doing business is that you have to pay taxes. And no, I'm not a self-proclaimed millionaire or anything like that. I just like to flip stuff, right? And a lot of us kind of have that same mindset, that selling growth mindset of being able to identify something or some deal, some sort of arbitrage opportunity is what it's called, and taking that and flipping it and then making a pretty good living. All right. I think in the last year, with everything going on with the world, I don't have to dwell on that anymore. And a lot of people are out of work or people are working from home. You know, they're kind of supplementing their business by doing a lot of things online, whether that's selling on eBay, opening a Shopify store, doing something fancy on Etsy, you name it. It's all over the place. E-commerce is going to continue to rise above. Okay, so with all of the competition that's out there in terms of hosting services like Amazon, you sell on there, Shopify, Etsy. I mean, there's a bunch of different ways to sell on Facebook, Mercari, you name it. Where does eBay kind of fit into this mold? Well, they've been around probably one of the longest. Okay, the only other longest, I guess, site that's been around for selling goods on, on the secondary market has been kind of like Craigslist, but they have shown time and time again that they're relatively unreliable, and there's a whole safety aspect and all that stuff. So eBay has been one of the biggest trend-setting e-commerce platforms for the longest time. All right, but the way that you sell on there was okay at first. Okay, it's like, man, it's exciting that you get to see stuff bid up over the course of however many days your listing is on there, and then you just continually do it. It becomes kind of mundane and all that great stuff, but it's the part of trying to make a living by doing so. And then we all get used to eBay. So the same things still apply from beginning to end. Okay, you sell an item, you ship it at the end, you get charged a final value fee and all that great stuff, and then the transaction is essentially closed until it gets to the customer. And hopefully everything has worked out 100% in your favor, right? Because the last thing we need is some sort of chargeback or a return because something isn't as described. We'll get to that in a moment, by the way. But it's been like that for the longest time. And it used to be that you were only able to receive and accept payments from eBay through PayPal. All right. And it's been like that since the freaking dawn of time. And there were a lot of people that did not have PayPal. So that kind of shut down a lot of prospective consumers. Okay. You had a lot of folks who are way older, who just don't get the whole PayPal thing and the third-party payment websites, and that's fine, all right? But it's time that the eBay payment system and all that great stuff kind of moved up into the current generation where you have all of these competing e-commerce platforms, okay? So eBay does not want to lose any market share whatsoever to a lot of these companies, as big and bad as an Amazon is, or Shopify becoming one of those platforms that people can trust. And then there's people that try and avoid fees altogether by selling their items on Facebook Marketplace. That's another thing. So eBay has finally made a few changes. And sorry for that long rant at the beginning of the video, but I wanted to kind of build up to where we're at right now with the changes that we are seeing from eBay as a seller. Now, the changes aren't nearly as impactful to the client so much as it is a seller. The changes that have been made is going to make it a whole lot easier for you to do business on eBay. Number one. Number two, and I can attest to this, my sales have gone up over 25% since I switched over to what eBay calls the managed payment format or services. All right, so we're going to talk about that here momentarily. What exactly is it, right? So my sales have gone up by about 25%. And if that wasn't enough, they also implemented one very important change, which has become kind of a pain point for a lot of sellers who sell those items that are under 20, 25 bucks. And the shipping costs eat and cannibalize whatever profit that you earn from it. And we'll get to that in a moment. But you heard me talk about managed payments, all right? And a lot of you who participate selling on eBay have probably gotten a message in the last 6 to 8 months asking for your switch over to this new managed payment services. So let me set a little bit of a stage before we talk about that. Okay, so the biggest thing about selling on eBay is you sell something, let's say $100, and then you get charged a fee. Okay, the fee is how much eBay charges you to set the listing and sell it in some capacity, whether it's a buy it now, kind of like add to cart listing, or if you're doing a traditional auction format, 1, 3, 5, 7, 10 days. I think it used to be they had a 30-day option. I haven't used that in so long, but they might have did away with 30 days. But I usually do 5 or 7. That's kind of, or a buy it now listing. So you sell an item and eBay charges you 12% or however much that amount. Or it used to be, before managed payments, it used to be 10%. And then your payment went and facilitated through PayPal, and PayPal charged you 3% on top of that. So altogether, fee-wise, you're paying 13%. So your $100 item that you have sold, right off the top, you've made $87. So that's kind of how it's always been. And with the eBay, the fees, it kind of collects into this one bottle of a bill, and then it gets sent to you in an email like, hey, we're going to make this automatic withdrawal for your invoice for the month of April, for example. And it would always end up being this big, large amount of money if you're kind of like a higher volume seller on eBay. And it's the time of the month that we always dread, right? But you would see this big old gnarly payment come out of your bank account for the eBay fees invoice at the end of the month. I know it's something I dread. I'm like, ugh, man, it feels like you don't make that much money because they take this big old payment out of your bank account. Now, under managed payments, they've changed it up a little bit. The biggest, most important thing you need to know about managed payments as a seller is that not only do you accept PayPal transactions, but a buyer can also check out just right direct using their debit or credit card. So they just boop, 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 boop. They go ahead and type in their address information, their billing, and all that great stuff, and then they put in their credit card number or their debit card number with all the other information, and then they hit submit, and then they close out the sale, and then it gets a little notification. Oh, okay, your seller has 1 to 2 days to process the order, and once that seller processes the order, then it'll automatically pop in or pre-populate the tracking number on there. So that's the new part of it, is that you're able to utilize different payment methods. It's the same way as if you went to an Amazon or if you went to some other website to order something. You don't want to, go through the rigmarole of having to open up your own PayPal account, All right, and then having to do all that, and then you gotta wait like 2 days for your bank to clear, and so on and so forth. I could see why a lot of people did not want to do that, and it kind of shied them away from using eBay. So buyers can use debit or credit card. The cool part is they could also pay with Apple Pay and Google Pay as well. All right, so there's a couple different methods, extra methods that they've added in there to help you sell more items, because the more payment methods that you can accept, the more that you'll sell. And that's why my sales have incrementally just jumped up through the roof since I've implemented managed payments about 2 months ago. Okay. The one big thing that I think a lot of sellers are not liking about managed payments is that all the money that comes in as a result of your closed sales ends up going into a little bit of a bucket. It's under the payments tab in your My eBay profile, and it sits there for like 1 to 2 days. And then what happens is the money that you've collected from your sales will automatically transfer once they're cleared to your bank account that you have assigned to your eBay payments profile. So some people have said, well, when I used to just accept PayPal, all my money goes into PayPal, and then I could just take it out using my debit card, or I could transfer it right away, and then there's more fees attached to that. But they had the big thing is I had instant access to my money, and it was like at the time I got it because that was not a part of change that we were used to. It was like, oh, okay, it's PayPal, 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 and I can't imagine eBay doing anything else other than that. Oh, by the way, eBay and PayPal used to be one company, I think as recently as like 5-6 years ago, and then they separated. Now they're two different entities. So you're seeing less of like both of them talking to each other, especially with like payment disputes and stuff. But I digress. But that's another thing. But with that comes some extra special perks. When the money gets funneled into a pot in eBay's payment back end, a couple really cool things happen. You remember when a few moments ago when I talked about that big gnarly invoice at the end of the month as a seller that eBay would charge your card? That no longer applies. Okay, so what eBay has done for the final value fees is that once you sell an item, okay, they go ahead and deduct like the for coins, because this is a coin channel, right, ladies and gentlemen? So yeah, if I flash a buffalo nickel in front of you, then that's a legit coin channel. But what they do is when a payment goes through and that buyer checks out of their item, whether it's at the end of an auction or as they buy it now, add to cart listing, the eBay will automatically take out the fees. Now with coins, if it's under $7,500, it's 12.35%. All right, which comes in just slightly lower than the combined eBay PayPal fees, which is 13%. So you do get a little bit of a discount. Now, on the more expensive end, if you sold something that was $7,500 and higher, they only charge you 7%. Now, under the coins and paper money tab, it's probably some of the highest fees that you'll encounter. Now, if you're selling other things, the fees for the more expensive stuff is a lot less. It's like 2.5% or something like that. They'll just take out the fees right away from the money that is received from the sale, which is cool. You don't have to worry about that big, huge bullcrap invoice at the end of the month. And then come to find out, you're like, man, I really didn't make that much money because they took out $800 from my bank account to pay an eBay bill. All right, so they take that automatically. It's one less thing you have to feel, but it does appear that you do get a little bit less money. So that's kind of like the big point of the money funneling through eBay instead of going through like a PayPal or this or that. Now, even if someone paid with PayPal, the money still gets funneled into this pot on the eBay side. You're going to see no more money coming into your PayPal unless you sold stuff outside of eBay, like on Facebook or something. and I'm going to talk about that in another video, because PayPal is starting to kind of clamp down on a few things. I've seen a few PayPal accounts get closed recently because of the overusage of what we call the friends and family payment transfer, but we'll talk about that in a different video. But with managed payments, the fees come off automatically off the top of every transaction. Okay, and another cool thing that I like about managed payments, in spite of the fact that you don't see the money in your bank account for about 2 days, is that the shipping processes of generating not only the packing slips but also the shipping labels is so much easier. It's about twice as fast by using the eBay generation method for printing out not only packing slips for each item sold, but also for the shipping labels. Okay, so where, let's say, the normal amount of time to do both on one item on PayPal would take maybe a minute, minute and a half, depending on how slow your computer is. On the eBay side, it takes less than 20 seconds to print not only the packing slip, which is normally what you want to add to the item, but also a shipping label. So the time it takes to generate both is so much more quicker, and that's what I do. I love that point of it. But with all things considering, you get more sales, and you're able to process and ship your items doubly quick. Now, it doesn't help, packaging things up in like 000 envelopes and all that stuff. But, that's still going to be the work part of it if you do it for yourself. In my particular instance, again, my volume of sales is low enough. And I've transferred my at-home business, other than YouTube, we used to have an Amazon store. We shut that down because of some of the changes that they've made, and we're now exclusively selling on eBay. So a lot of the things that we're seeing from managed payments is helping us tremendously. Plus, it also keeps our invoices and our books high and tight for when we have to do taxes. What's also cool is that eBay will also send you or will have instant access to you of each month's invoices of all the items. So if I had listings, like a lot of the buy it now listings I have, like the add to cart ones, will have free shipping. So those listings will pop up separately on an invoice of all of the free shipping type stuff, and I could find out what those are, and then I could write off all the free shipping payments that I've made on all those items. So that's one of those cool little tips that you guys need to know about. Because, if you make a lot of money, and I hear there's like a proposed change in the horizon, I hope that it doesn't pass, seriously. But the 39% was a capital gains tax that may or may not happen, and that's for people making over 400K. Now, we don't make nearly that much, but I think that a lot of your small to medium businesses that certainly do make that kind of money will not want to see that, because there's not enough write-offs in the world to help offset that. So that's the real first big change, is the transition over to managed payments. I think they're still doing that to a lot of accounts that exist on eBay that are still doing the old regular method of paying through PayPal and doing that whole thing. So the other second most impactful change that eBay has implemented here recently has been something that they've implemented as a change to sports cards. So sports cards, like this one right here, it used to be that if you sold a sports card for under $20, all right, you still had to somehow, some way pay that $3.50 to $4 shipping fee to send it out first class. That hasn't changed. Now, you could roll the dice and send it in a plain white envelope with a couple forever stamps on there, but that's not good business. And skimping on packaging and all that stuff. I mean, I use high quality 000 bubble mailers for a lot of the items I do sell, whether it's sports cards, whether it's coins, whether it's little knickknacks, paddywhacks, give a dog a bone, But eBay has implemented a change where if an item sells and it's under $20, okay, they also have a first class shipped in a plain white envelope, and we're going to talk about how you would package something like a coin in a plain white envelope. I think a number 10 is the max size for that, with full tracking number for under $1. All right, and which is cool. That's something again that they did on sports cards, but now they're adding that into coin sales. That seems to be something that a lot of people hated. Was like, I'd sell something for 10, 15, 20 bucks, but shipping is $3, $4, and I'm just not seeing as much profit that way. All right. And this only applies again to completed sales of coins under $20. If it's $21.50, it doesn't count. So, I know a couple people that will take full advantage of this because kind of like that sweet spot of success is being able to sell a lot of the $5, $10, $15, $19.99 items, coins. And I have a ton of them that I'm ready to list. And then with this change, that is actually awesome. There are a lot of people that hinge on full volume sales of these lesser expensive coins on their eBay site store, and then being able to only pay less than $1 for shipping is a huge game changer. Now, some of you are going to ask, well, why don't you charge for shipping on your eBay listing? Well, I have a few reasons for that. I did an eBay selling clinic, I believe about a year ago, where I highlighted a few best practices that you should do or implement so that way you sell more coins. And one of them has always been free shipping on Buy It Now listings. And the reason is you get more as a buyer who's looking to purchase items, you get more bang for the buck. All right, so if every single one of your Buy It Now listings is showing free shipping, free shipping, free shipping within the continental US, that's a huge deal, man. I mean, as a buyer, it's like the psychological kind of like tie-in to all this is like, I get free shipping. You know, it's like the gravy train, you know, is rolling through town, and it's like you're getting like a $4 thing for absolutely free. All right. And when we see free shipping on like infomercials, or if we see it online on a website or on Facebook ad or whatever for a really cool item, you're like, wow, you know, that's actually a pretty good incentive to order that, because the shipping on something like that's like $8. All right, I've sold some items that are like $1,000, and I still do free shipping. That's kind of a huge deal. You're going to see your sales success go up 5-10% because you offer free shipping. Now, it's even more important and even more relevant when you have shipping costs of only $1 or less. All right, so you're going to do the same, you know, method of processing the shipment label, and it'll give you like options. Do you want to do just regular first class? Do you want to do first class in a plain white envelope for your coin? And it's going to be like 90 to 95 cents. I mean, it's like the biggest win for a lot of sellers who do sell cheaper items. All right, and with coins, if you're an avid, I have this great big like bucket of just various varieties and errors. I probably have a good couple thousand of coins, and they're all in things like this. You know, they're all in 2x2s, you know, like this. And these things are a dime a dozen. All right, these 2x2 flips. Now, these are the ones that you actually have to staple. And it's for a cost comparison basis, these are the cheapest to buy on the market for protecting a coin. Now, it just doesn't stop at using something like this. Another thing to use in a plain white envelope, because you're maxed out at a certain weight, I think it's like 1 or 2 ounces, you can actually use cardboard, all right, to cardboard your coin together. What I recommend is cutting down the free priority boxes at the post office, like the small mailbox ones, or envelopes. The flat rate envelopes, if you cut those down and use that as well to show some of the rigidity, and that's going to help with the shipping of your coin. But if you add your coin into a 2x2 flip, and don't tape it to a piece of cardboard, okay? Don't be one of those people, because I'm gonna come looking for you. No, not really, but you know, you're not gonna get a good business doing that. But protect it in a 2x2 cardboard holder, which, by the way, costs me less than a penny to own each because I buy them in bulk. But if you do that, you support it with some sort of rigid material, whether it's like a, the cardboard to an envelope, a Priority Express envelope or what have you. And then you tape it or staple it together. Make sure you cinch down to a staple so it doesn't tear through the envelope. Then you're in good shape. And then those are the big couple things that is happening on the eBay front that you guys need to know about. Make these changes right away. If you got buy it now listings, convert them all with free shipping if they're under $20. And man, you're going to see your transactions go through the roof. All right? Because now you're able to accept debit or credit card on a guest checkout system. You don't really have to do much as a buyer at the end. You don't have to deal with PayPal and fees and all that stuff, which is cool. So that's why I want to talk about a few quick, simple changes to eBay. So this might be a great incentive for you if you have coins you want to sell to do so. Now, if you got expensive coins to sell, things that are like $50, $100 and up, obviously the same things still apply. All right, use discretion. How would you want to receive that coin if you were the buyer? Do you want it in a plain white envelope and you had paid $4 for shipping for a $50 coin and the thing get knocked around and it's not even a 2x2 flip? I mean, come on. Treat your customers the same way that you want to be treated for your items. You want it to be safe, sound. You want it to be reputable and very equitable. You want to be able to make money hand over fist at the end of the day when you are doing your eBay transactions. Now, if you keep all these best practices in mind, you will do so, and you will own the e-commerce world when it comes to coins and currency and everything else that you sell. But that's going to go ahead and do it. If you guys have questions, go ahead and comment down here in this region. And I'll see what I can do to help you guys out. Maybe we'll do another follow-up video based on something that you guys have questions on with these new changes on managed payment services and the cheap under $20 plain white envelope shipping option with tracking. Man, that is a game changer. That's going to go ahead and do it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Sean, with Blue Ridge Silverhound. All right, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Hit this good old bell for instant notifications, guys, so that way you get early access to the next video upload. But that's going to go ahead and do it. Love you guys. Thank you for all the views and support of my channel, Blue Ridge. And I will see you guys on the next video. You guys take care now.